My name is my name is Cindy. I'm from Blue Studies International. I'm based here in Sydney, and today we have a really great guest that is Mariana. Mariana is from University of Tasmania. Hi, Mariana. How are you?
I'm good, Cindy. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you, and thanks to Blue Studies as well for receiving me today.
Okay, so the topic is Tasmania. Nowadays, Tasmania is quite popular because many people is moving to there and is preferring regional areas instead of the big cities. So let's start, Mariana. Are you gonna share your presentation with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So once again, thanks, Cindy. Thanks, Blue Study team. What I will do is I'll share my screen because I have a couple of slides that I want to use so you can have a better idea of what exactly you can expect from University of Tasmania as well, Tasmania as a destination for your studies. As Cindy was saying, my name is Mariana and I work in the international recruitment department here. I'm based in Hobart, which is the capital city in the state of Tasmania. And well, I'll be also available for any questions if you want to pop in the chat or if anyone who is joining us in the Zoom meeting as well, just make sure to add your questions so we can answer that at the end. So this is a beautiful photo that we have from the Mount Wellington. Mount Wellington is one of the probably biggest tourist places here in Hobart. It is in the middle of the city center. And as you can see, you have this beautiful view of the whole city. So yeah, it's pretty popular here. And what we like to say about Tasmania is that this is a place unlike any other. So if for instance, you are already living here in Australia, if you're living in Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, or any other city, and you never got the chance to travel to Tasmania and visit Hobart or Launceston or any of our cities here, I can tell you that it is quite different from whatever you see in the mainland. One, because we are an island, so we are much smaller, but we also have our own ecosystem here. So if you come, you will see that the nature is something that really embraces the whole state. 40% of the island is protected. So you will see a lot of green spaces, a lot of forest. And yeah, it is definitely a beautiful place to live. Quite safe, much smaller, as I said, than other places, but still, you will find anything that you would expect from a big city in Australia. So apart from that, what this also means is that whenever a student comes to study with the University of Tasmania, they will also be exploring different specializations here. That is really because of our location. So for example, if you come to study law with us, the Bachelor of Law, you will be able to also include some specializations focused in climate change, for example, or environmental law, or even oceans and the Antarctic. I will run through all the courses that we offer here, but this is just to give you an idea of this combination of options that you can have here at the University of Tasmania. So the University of Tasmania is a quite traditional university. We are the fourth oldest university in this in Australia. We have campuses in Hobart, Launceston, and Burnie, which are in Tasmania, but we also have a campus in Sydney. So if you come to study with us nursing, for example, or any of our maritime studies, you may be able to study with us in Sydney. Different courses, of course, will be available in different campuses. The main one is Hobart, which I will show you in a couple of slides. And nowadays, what we have for international students is around 100 undergraduate programs and 150 postgraduate programs. So it is a very extensive list of programs that you can choose from. And we also have the research department. So we are top 2% in the world when it comes to the research space. So yeah, if you ever want to study any of our research projects, please feel free to let me know. I'm happy to share any further information on that as well. This is the Hobart campus I was talking about. So this is one of the many campuses that we have here in Hobart. So this is the one that is based in Sandy Bay. Sandy Bay is the name of the suburb, is where the international department is where I am located, and it is where we offer most of our programs. So we have community services programs, we have engineering courses there, we have our English course and foundation program as well if you need to come to study one of those courses with us, and many other courses. Again, the Mount Wellington just behind the very back as the biggest mountain there. And nowadays we are shifting many of our programs to the city. So depending on the course you will come to study with us, nowadays business and economics are the main sectors that we are offering in the city center. This is of course to facilitate a bit more for students in terms of finding accommodation or transportation, etc., etc. Sandy Bay still, it's quite close to the city. It's less than probably 5 minutes by car if you're driving. So it is pretty convenient and you will find everything around the whole campus. As you can see in this photo, it is full of green spaces. So that is also another very interesting thing about studying with us. As I said earlier, it is a very, very connected place to the nature. And you can see there that, yeah, if you just have your break or your lunch break, you can go for a walk and just see these bushes, which is absolutely beautiful. Another sentence that we really like to say here at the university is that our whole island is your campus. And what that really means is that whenever a student is studying with us, they are not only studying on campus in the classroom with us, they will be able to explore the whole island. So if you're doing aquaculture, agriculture, or even maybe engineering or architecture studies with us, you will be able to do a lot of practical components outside of the campus, outside of the classroom. So this is something that students, they really appreciate because many times they are in real contact with the industry, they are in real contact with the community, not only doing their theoretical studies here with us. So our classes tends to be really practical, really hands-on, and that is something that students, they really appreciate when they are studying here with us. I have this slide just to illustrate a bit on where we are located. If you are not here in Australia, or maybe you never heard about Tasmania, this is just to give you a bit of idea on where exactly we are. So the island of Tasmania is in the south part of the country. So we are not far away from Melbourne. So if you take a flight, it will take around 1 hour from Melbourne. You can take 1 hour and a half from Sydney and maybe 2 hours and a half from Brisbane. So we do have direct flights from Hobart, which is the capital city, to pretty much all main cities around Australia. You can also catch a ferry that is from Melbourne to Devonport, which is in the northern part of the state. This ferry takes around 12 hours. So if you're moving from the mainland to study with us here in Tasmania, you can put everything in your car, or if you're renting a van or something like that, and you want to move with all your belongings, you can catch the ferry in Melbourne and stop in Devonport, and then 3 more hours drive to Hobart. So it is pretty convenient. I've done that myself pretty much a year and a half ago when I moved from Melbourne to Hobart. So if you do have any question about that, please let me know. Happy to share my own experience, but it is a pretty easy thing to do. I mean, moving from our countries, I myself come from Brazil. If you're coming from, I don't know, Colombia or any other country, this move from your country to Australia is already a massive thing. So I can already tell you, moving from another city to Tasmania won't be that painful, will be much easier for sure. The island is not that small. We always compare it to Ireland. So it is the same size as Ireland and twice the size of Taiwan. So it is not that small. You can drive from the top to the south part around 3 hours, more or less. And yeah, you will see different sort of landscaping around the whole island. So if you go to the east side, you will see a lot of beaches. If you go to the west side, you will see a lot of forest. So it's really, really dense forest. The south part, you have the biggest city, which is Hobart, and Launceston, which is the second biggest city in the northern part of the state. Okay. I know that many students, they are also interested in knowing a bit more about the rankings of what is the position of the university among other universities. So these 2 next slides that I have are just to illustrate a bit more on what are our rankings. So we are top 300 in the world when it comes to universities. As I mentioned earlier, top 2% in the world when we are looking to the research space. top 50 in Asia Pacific region, and 48 out of 51 of our disciplines are at or above world standards. So it is we are quite heavily ranked, as you can see, especially when it comes to specific subjects. So here is just a couple of subjects that we have the ranking. So first in Southern Ocean research, fourth in marine and freshwater biology, and then we also have fisheries, oceanography, agricultural science, and so on. So as you can see here in this slide, we are very popular in two sectors that are basically what we call the blue and green sciences. So anything that comes really under those blue and green sciences, we are really experts. Not many universities offers those programs. One of the biggest examples is probably the marine and Antarctic sciences. In fact, Tasmania is really well located when it comes to Antarctic. We're not that close, but probably we are one of the closest places from Antarctic, which means that many organizations, many companies that are doing research in the Antarctic, for example, they are based here in Hobart. So if for some reason you're interested in one of those areas, definitely University of Tasmania will have something for you to study here. So yeah, just contact Blue Studies or let me know, and we can also walk you through a couple of those options of courses that we have here. That takes me to the next slide, which is really a bit more of information on what exactly you can study with us. These are just the areas. So this is actually much extensive. If you go into our website, you will see the full list of programs that we offer for international students. But here we just have a couple of the areas. So it gives you an idea of what exactly you can apply to study with us. So we have the arts sector, which is a very, very popular sector here in Hobart. In fact, we do have a lot of festivals, arts events. Dark Mofo probably is the main one, if you ever heard about it. It's a huge festival that happens during the winter, and most of our international students, not only international students, but most of our students, they are usually really involved on those festivals that happen throughout the year here in Tasmania. So arts sector, social work, definitely one of the biggest sectors, and I can talk about that later on as well, because as Cindy has mentioned, we do have a lot of international students interested in moving to Tasmania because it's a regional area. So that can possibly give you extra points when you're studying here and applying for another visa, such as a post-study visa. So social work definitely is one of those courses among the international students that is really, really popular nowadays. Education sector, the law sector, we have the health sector, again, a very booming sector, not only in Tasmania, of course, now with the pandemic, it's all around Australia, but here in Tasmania especially, we do have a lot of students interested in coming to study the medicine sector, nursing, psychology as well. It's also a very popular course. We have the business sector, so economics, accounting, MBA, logistics management as well. And then what I mentioned earlier, the blue and green sciences. So that ranges from engineering programs, environmental programs, geology, also a very popular study among Latin American students, and then aquaculture, marine science, and maritime courses as well, very, very popular. So these photos are just to give you a bit of taste on what exactly you can find when you're coming to study with us. So the biggest photo that you have on your left side is the Menzies. This is the Institute for Medical Research. So if you ever come to do any of our medical programs, most likely you will be using this facility. It is in the city center here in Hobart, just across the Royal Hobart Hospital, which is the biggest hospital that we have here in Tasmania. And all facilities that we offer here at the university, they are really open to the community and to the industry. So you will be really in connection with people from the community as always. The first photo on your right side, this is the Australian Maritime College simulator. This is a very, very advanced technology for students who wants to work and learn how to become a ship captain, for example. So this is a simulator where you will just learn how to control a vessel. So even before you go to a real situation in the ocean, you will be able to use this simulator and pretty much simulates any sort of environment that you will face in the ocean. So it simulates bridge, engineering room, etc., etc. So a very high tech facility that we have for students who are coming to study maritime with us. And then the photo that we have just below that one, that is the IMAS facility. That is the Institute for Marine and Antarctic Studies that I was mentioning earlier. So students who are coming to do any research with us in this space, they will be using this campus. This is a beautiful building in Salamanca. Salamanca is a really touristic suburb that we have here in Hobart, just next to the city, just by the water, which is a beautiful facility as well. So this is just to give you a bit of taste exactly on what you can expect to encounter when you come to study with us. Before I move on in a very common topic of discussion that is scholarship, I just want to maybe touch base on a couple of courses that I know that can be quite popular among Latin American students. And I always start with the Bachelor of Business. The Bachelor of Business is usually a 3 years program. However, we do have this same course in a different structure, which we call accelerated, which basically means that instead of doing a 3 years studies, you will be doing a 2 years studies, which is absolutely amazing. One, because you will still meet the conditions for you to apply for a post-study visa, for example, if you want. And two, of course, you will finish your studies earlier, which will basically save you money, 1 year of accommodation, cost of living, etc., and put you in contact with the industry much faster. So we do have a lot of students interested in this course, especially because our business and economic programs, they do have access to corporate internship. So with the accelerated option, you have available a couple of majors, which are accounting, management, and marketing. If you want to go for the full 3 years, then that opens up a bit more of options of majors, such as tourism or some other specializations that you might not find in the accelerated option. The next available intake that we have is September, which is also a great option because most of courses, they normally will have a February and a July intake. However, this course also offers you a couple of other options such as May and September. So the next one will be September. Already open for applications, so you're absolutely welcome to submit your application for this year. So the corporate internship that I was mentioning earlier, this is pretty much for all courses that we offer under this business and economics space. And normally students, they will be doing their real internships in real companies. So we have more than 200 internship partners nowadays throughout Tasmania, and we do encourage students to apply for this corporate internship. Could be paid, could be unpaid, but it is a great way for you to make connections, make networking, have something to add on your resume even before you start working in the industry. And we take really serious this opportunity for international students as well. Apart from the corporate internship, we do have a range of other options for students who are studying other courses with us. So we have, for example, the iPrep program. The iPrep is for students on their final year of studies, and there is a selection criteria that you have to go through, even with the formal interview, etc., etc. However, that also gives you the opportunity to have an internship program by the time you finish your studies with us. We have the Career Connect, which is a department full just specialized in connecting you with job opportunities, the Career Hub, where you can also get assistance, and so many other programs for international students. So all these supports, of course, they are for free. Even if you're not in Australia at the moment, if you are offshore and planning to study with us, we can organize those online sessions, online opportunities as well. So yeah, that's what I wanted to mention about these internship programs and the business sector. However, I have a couple of other courses that I want to focus here today as well. The medicine course, the MBBS, that's how we call the Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. Normally, the structure of the medicine course here would be 6 years. However, we offer the MBBS program in 5 years. We only have one intake per year, which is February. We already have the applications open for next year. And the beauty of this course is that 100% of our graduates, they find internships. And this is a statistic that we have from the college. So we're really proud of that We don't have massive classrooms of students doing medicine. Normally our classrooms, they are quite small, no more than 50 students. So that means that the professors, they will have really good connection with the students, and it will definitely assist you as well on finding these job opportunities in the industry. So the structure of the course basically is the first 3 years of the course, you will be doing on-campus studies with us. And then the last 2 years, you will be doing clinical rotations. So you will be doing 100% of practical components. So students, they also love that part. That's really the last 2 years, they will be just in real hospitals doing their clinical studies with us. To get into this course, there's no interview required. We will require you to provide evidence that you have done chemistry on your previous studies. And it needs to be within the last 5 years. So there are a couple of other requirements that I can walk you guys through if we have any student here interested in finding more information about the course. But the key point for us here today is that our health courses, especially the medicine course, are always run by quota. So that means that when you put an application in, you won't necessarily get an offer letter straight away. You will be assessed by our admissions department. You will be ranked against other students who have also submitted their application. And the offer letters will always go for the students with higher ranking. So the higher are your marks from your previous studies, the higher are your chances. So if you're applying with your high school certificate, or if you're applying with another bachelor studies, just make sure to attach your academic documents as well, so our admissions department can assess you, okay? The next course that I want to talk is also a very, very popular course sector, actually, among Latin American students. We do have the Bachelor of Engineering specialization with honors and the Master of Professional Engineering specialization. So the first course, the bachelor degree, it's a 4 years qualification, and there are a couple of specializations you can go for. So we have civil, electronical and electronics, electrical power, electronics and communication, and mechanical. So in your first year of study, you normally will be studying with all students who are doing the engineering program. And then on the second year, after you get a taste of all these sectors, you will be able to choose which specialization you want to go with. So that is also a really good way for you to, who may not be 100% sure on what exactly you want to go for. In the first year, really taste what exactly are your options. Again, as pretty much all courses that we have, it is a very hands-on program. And what I have here that I wanted to really focus on is that you will have a 12 weeks of industry placement, which is absolutely fantastic. But we also have a very interesting project that we call Utah's Motorsports Team. And you can see this photo on your left side, which is basically students being part of this project. So students, they are always invited. This is not a compulsory project that you have to get involved, but each year they will build the whole car. They build a whole car from scratch. So that really gives the students a lot of teamwork. They get the chance to design, to build and drive an electric race car. So this is quite amazing. I find that quite interesting and different from all aspects of other courses that I've seen in other universities related to engineering. So students, they also travel to Victoria by boat. So they take the car by boat to Victoria to compete with other universities as well. So they also have to negotiate on sponsorship. They have to have a lot of involvement and commitment in this project as well. So the bachelor and the master degree that we offer under the engineering space, they are accredited with the Engineers Australia and also with the Washington Accord, which is a global qualification, meaning if you finish one of those 2 qualifications with us, you will be able to work not only in Australia, but in other countries that are part of the Washington Accord. With the master program, the only thing I think I wanted to say that is different from the bachelor degree is that students, they will have some different sort of specializations. So we have, for example, timber design there that we don't have on the bachelor degree level. And we can offer the Master of Professional Engineering for students who don't have a background in engineering, which is also a very, very amazing thing. So the normal duration will be 3 years. However, if you have an engineering background, you will be able to finish that within 2 years. If you don't have any background in engineering, then you will be able to do that in 3 years. So it's also a very, very popular program among international students with the 12 weeks of industry placement. And yeah, I'm happy to discuss more about these 2 courses if you have any question. Well, last but not least, what I wanted to touch base is the information on the scholarships that we have. So nowadays we have a very long list of scholarships. I just have selected a couple of them to talk today. So if you want to know more about any other scholarship, feel free to jump on our website and see the full list of scholarships available for international students. But today what I wanted to focus is first the Tasmanian International Scholarship, which we call TIS. This is a 25% off your tuition fees if you're eligible. So as pretty much all scholarships that we offer, it is an academic merit-based scholarship, which means that when you submit your application to study with us, you also have to make sure you submit your transcripts of your highest qualification, if it's a bachelor degree, a master, or even a high school qualification. And our admissions department will make the decision based on those previous studies that you had. It is an automatic assessment, so you don't have to put an application separate for this scholarship. There's no cost for it. And if you are eligible, you will have that in your offer letter. You can have that scholarship throughout your studies for your full duration of your studies, as long as you maintain your grades, your marks during the studies. This is the most common one. It covers pretty much all courses that we offer, okay? Apart from that, we have a lot of 10% discounts. So if you're coming to study with your family, I don't know, brothers and sisters or cousins or something like that, or if you're moving from one level to another, say, for example, from a foundation into an undergraduate or from an undergraduate program to a postgraduate course, you can also have those 10% discounts. However, the 2 next ones, I think that can be the most popular ones among Latin American students. The DNF Merit Scholarship, and COSI stands for College of Science and Engineering, are really focused in certain nationalities. So we have that covering Latin America, Europe, if we have anyone from Europe today, and also North America as well. So this is specifically for postgraduate programs under the science and engineering. So we have a full list of these courses that are eligible for this scholarship. And if you're applying to study with us this semester, July intake, you may be able to get a 50% discount on your tuition fees, which is a quite high value of scholarship. If you're not eligible for the 50%, then you will be automatically getting a 25% discount, which is the Careers in Science and Technology Postgraduate Award. So at least the 25% you will get if you're studying July with us, one of the postgraduate programs under the science and engineering, okay? Terms and conditions, eligibility criteria, everything, you can find that available in our website as well. And then the one that I was also talking that is quite popular is the Study Tasmania Colombian Scholarship in Science. So this is only available for Colombian students who wants to study with us this semester again, July intake. And for this one, because it's not a scholarship offered by the university, it's offered by the government, you have to put a separate application in the system, okay? So you submit your course application through Blue Studies, you go into our website and you put an application for this scholarship. Just remember that the closing date for this scholarship will be the 30th of June. So you just want to make sure that you have that in the system before that date. If you are eligible, you may be able to get a $10,000 discount on your studies as well. So these cover a range of courses, not all courses that we offer, but just to give you an idea, it covers Master of Architecture, the Master of Engineering, logistics management, a couple of our applied sciences studies as well, environmental management, and some other sectors such as protected area, etc., etc. So it is a quite competitive scholarship because, of course, we do have a lot of Colombian students interested in getting this $10,000 discount. make sure you put your application as soon as you can and just before the 30th of June to be basically assessed and possibly getting this scholarship, okay? And then the last one that I just want to touch base is the DNF TSB, which stands for Tasmanian School of Business and Economics. So if you are offshore or onshore studying one of our undergraduate honors or postgraduate course under the business and economics sector, apart from accounting, you should be eligible to get this 50% discount as well on your tuition fees. Again, these are all scholarships available for July intake. We are still waiting the confirmation from our scholarship department on scholarships that we will have available for next year, for 2022. So if you want to be considered for any of those scholarships, my suggestion is apply for July, so at least you can guarantee the scholarship for this year, okay? Before I wrap up and finish, I just have two more information that I want to share with you. One is about the webinars that we are running with the college. So if you want to hear more information about any specific course that we offer, you're more than welcome to join us on one of those webinars. So we are running more or less 2 webinars per month. And the nice part of these webinars is that it's not me trying to convince you to come and study with us. It's actually the professors really talking about their own experience, the students talking about their own experience, and really focusing a full 1-hour session on one specific course. So the next one that we will have is next week. It's the law. So if you want to study law with us, definitely a great option for you to just register. It's free. If you cannot attend, it's okay. We are always recording this session, so you can always watch that later on. And then we will also have science, agricultural, maritime and logistics management, engineering, and so on. You can find the full list of webinars in our website. If you need any assistance to find that, just let me know or contact Blue Studies, and they will also be able to share with you more information on those sessions. And I guess that before we just go for any questions, what I wanted to share with you is a bit more information on how to apply. I know that if you're already in Australia, you probably already know that, but maybe if you're not here yet, easiest way, go into our website, find the list of courses that we offer, find a course that you are really interested in. You can check if you are eligible for that course or not. Get ready with your documents, passport, academic transcripts, your English evidence. We may require more documents, but for the beginning, these are the main documents that we need, always in English and original. So if it's in Spanish, Portuguese, or any other language, make sure to send both documents, the translated and the original. And also, always get an assistance from an education agent. So Blue Studies International is definitely a great agent for you to connect with. They are experts on visa application, health insurance, and even with the course application. Cindy's here. She's always really great help for international students when they are submitting their application to study with us. The applications are online. You can also apply for credits. So if you think that you may have already studied something similar to what we offer and you think you can eliminate some of those units, you can apply for that. There's no cost involved on that. And if you are eligible, you will get an offer letter. The scholarship information will be also outlined there. And basically the only thing you need to do is meet the conditions, accept the offer letter, and make the initial deposit so you can get your confirmation of enrollment, your COE, which is the document you will need to apply for a student visa. So this is really a snapshot of exactly how this whole process takes. Of course, that's not that fast. So the sooner you submit your application, the higher are your chances of getting an offer letter and your COE to apply for your visa. But just bear in mind that it can take a couple of days or maybe a couple of weeks, depending on the complexity on the course that you are applying for or the documents that we require from you. For example, if you're applying for architecture, we will need a portfolio. So this needs to go to the college for assessment. So there is a process there. But myself and Blue Studies team will be always there to support you and to give you further information on your application. Okay. So I think I have finished. I have tried to cover everything on what exactly I know that students normally would ask for. I'll stop sharing my screen and yeah, I'll be ready for questions.
Great, Mariana, great presentation. A lot of information about Tasmania and the university. Here we have one question. The student, Marcela is asking if you offer any program that combine climate change and oceanography.
Como maestría, yeah, so as a postgraduate
Yeah.
study. Look, Marcela, yes, we do have a lot of courses that could combine that. Probably the best option would be, and I would have to work with you probably offline just to make sure a bit about your background as well, because even that you are interested in going for a postgraduate study, we just want to make sure that the bachelor degree that you have would be enough into going to a postgraduate study with us. We do have a lot of the Master of Applied Science. Maybe I would suggest you to have a look on those courses. So the Master of Applied Science that we offer, we do have a lot of specializations that could be something related to climate change and oceanography, as well as the marine and Antarctic studies. We do have a lot of specializations under that. That could be something related to what you are interested in. If you want, Marcela, feel free to maybe share your contact details with Blue Studies or with me, either here on the chat box or somewhere else offline, and I can walk with you on some of those options.
Thank you, Mariana. Another question from Vicente. He's asking if we do have in Australia a commercial engineering, or like, let's say something similar, like.
After finish my program, can I work while studying in University of Tasmania? It's business. Oh, okay. I was going to ask you exactly like commercial engineering. What exactly would that be? I'm not sure.
Sorry for interrupting, Mariana. I think that in Chile, commercial engineering is something related to industrial engineering, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah,
So
I
here
think that
in Australia, I haven't heard much about that program, but some universities offer like industrial engineering or manufacturing engineering.
Thanks for clarifying that, Cindy. So not exactly as a full specialization, not as engineering, commercial engineering or industrial engineering. I'm not sure if you were able to see Vicente, the specializations that we have under our engineering courses. However, maybe I didn't make really clear, but the studies that we have under engineering, they are quite focused on work connections. So students, they are always learning a lot about the business and the sector as a whole, on how to find a job opportunity or anything like that. So might not be exactly under the engineering sector, the industrial engineering sector. However, you may be able to find some of those specializations that can be somehow related to your sector, and just jump on that and see if that works for you. Other than that, yeah, we would probably have to check again if we can offer you something different. I wouldn't say really industrial. Yeah, I think that probably the closest would be under those sectors that we offer. And I'll go quickly again on the list of specializations. Electronics and communications, maybe something like that. We would have to really see your background to make sure that this could match with what you're interested in. Sorry, maybe it didn't really quite answer your question, Vicente.
Here they are saying it's similar to the business bachelor.
Okay, yeah. So the bachelor of, if you do have already engineering background, then of course the master would be the best option. Other than that, you could go for the Bachelor of Engineering. It does have a lot of business units in there. So the students, they learn a lot about management, for example, and anything related to that. Hopefully it could be an option for you. But yeah, maybe let us know once you have a read through the course information, if it is something that you are interested in applying for. But with your other question that you asked us, if you can work while studying, I might let this to Cindy, because of course the Blue Studies team, they will be able to better give you information on that. But yes, if you're coming in a student visa, you are eligible to work 20 hours per week.
Yeah, he's asking about after finish his studies. So if a student do a higher education program, like let's say a bachelor or master, if they studying in Australia, and after that they can apply to a graduate visa. and if during that is for 2 years, and if during those 2 years of study of graduate visa they are still living and working in Tasmania, they may be eligible for 1 extra year if they do a master of coursework. Also, there are some exceptions for a 4 year if they do a master by research. So it depends case by case, and I would suggest to check with a migration agent who are expert in that area.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Any more question? I have a question for Mariana in regards to the Bachelor of Medicine.
Yeah, sure.
Are most of the Colombian students or Latin American students, they
Mhm.
finish in year 11. In order to meet the academic requirement to start the Bachelor of Medicine, what would you suggest to them to do?
That's a really good question, Cindy. So, yes, in case they shouldn't, so basically what we need from students is normally an equivalent to year 12 Australian equivalency. So if you have done an year 11, for example, which would be missing this 1 year, many times we can package with foundation. The medicine course is one of those cases where we can package 1 year of medicine, and then you can go straight into the bachelor degree as long as you reach the minimum scores that you need in your foundation program. That happens with pretty much every course that we offer. There are some exceptions where we cannot package a foundation, but most of our courses, yes, if you have not met the condition, then you can have those English or foundation programs as a package.
Okay, do they need to meet the English requirement of 7 on IELTS to start the foundation? Or how does it work?
So with the foundation, they don't need the 7. They can just go with the level of English that they require for the foundation program, but they will be required to provide this 7 before they start their bachelor degree.
Okay, great. So they get a conditional COE to
Exactly,
meet
a
the English
conditional package.
requirement to start the
Exactly.
bachelor. Great,
Yes, that's
Mariana.
right.
They also are asking, why do you recommend Tasmania to go
Oh,
study, work, live?
that's a great question. And I think is I'm not sure if it's still Vicent who is asking that or if it's something else, but someone else. But yeah, look, many reasons. I'll give you my personal experience, and I think that this can illustrate a bit more. I've been living in Australia for around 7 years and a half. And I moved to Tasmania a year and a half ago, and started working with the university. So I came really with my mind and heart open. I didn't really have huge expectations because I knew I was moving from a huge city such as Melbourne into a much smaller city such as Hobart. But I just fell in love. I love doing a lot of outdoor activities. So you do have a lot of hikings, bushwalkings. If you like to surf, if you like going to the beach, or even camping, or just doing small trips. So if you are in Hobart, you can take your car and 15 minutes far away from the city, you're already in a completely different landscaping. So my weekends pretty much I do small trips and I visit different places. And this is being amazing to just explore the whole island as a whole. Something that in 7 years I haven't done in Melbourne. In Melbourne, I was really in the city, always going to shopping and, always spending a lot of money. Here in Hobart, the lifestyle is completely different. You still can go out and shopping, but that's not really the focus here. I think that the lifestyle, the balance of life, it's much better here. You save a lot of money because you wouldn't probably be going out that much. So it is being a really great lifestyle and balance of life for me. Apart from that, you don't have traffic jams here, so you can drive from A to B without having to worry about the traffic or anything like that. I feel that here is a much more secure place. Australia as a whole, it is very secure, but here in Tasmania especially, I feel that people are much more welcoming. The community here, the Australian community, is much more open to receive migrants, international students. They are much more curious about who you are, what you're doing here, and how to, really embrace you in their community. What else I can talk about? I think, that's probably the main points I would say. The University of Tasmania is the only university in the state, so we do have a very special role in the community, in the industry. So students who are here with us, they do feel that this is something very special for them, because, you know, if they are looking for job opportunities, they are really well looked. People really embrace them in the community, in the industry. And yeah, I think that these are some of the points. Hopefully that would be enough to convince you.
Thank you, Mariana. Another important thing that the student asks about the cost of living, like how about the rent, the transport, how does it work?
Yeah, look, if we compare to Melbourne and Sydney, which are probably the main cities that international students they would go for when they are coming to study in Australia, yeah, the cost of life here is way cheaper. Maybe accommodation can be a bit of difficulty, and being really honest, because of course the city is smaller, and we are having a boom of a lot of international students moving here because it's a regional area, because it can be a bit easier for them to possibly migrate in the future. So, but still, in terms of life of cost in general, it can be way cheaper. Public transport, groceries, the lifestyle, of course, will matter a lot. But because Tasmania also has a lot of local producers, we tend to buy a lot of local groceries here. So if you go for fruits, veggies, or anything like that, if you buy local, you will save a lot of money, because there's a lot of farms and a lot of small markets happening here. So it's the easiest way for you to save money, probably. And as I said, I find that I save a lot of money here compared to when I used to live in Melbourne. Of course, it depends on your own lifestyle and different factors, but yeah, it is definitely cheaper. We tend to say that Hobart can be at least 12% cheaper than Melbourne, for example.
Good, great for the students. Yeah. They also can save some money in the cost of living. In terms of the transport, what the main transport that the students use to move around?
Okay. Yeah, so that's actually a really good question as well. So because if you come especially to Hobart, but any other city here in Tasmania, you will see that there is a lot of hills, up hills, down hills. So there's no metro here, there's no train or trams here. The only transportation here is bus. But yeah, the bus takes you everywhere. There's a lot of places where you can take. If I'm not mistaken, international students, they can also have discount on the public transport to take the bus. Just being a student of the University of Tasmania, if they present their card, they should be able to get discount as well. But my biggest suggestion is, of course, this may not be available for everyone, or you may not even drive, but considering buying a car here, a cheap car that can take you everywhere, this probably would be the best option, not only in terms of transportation around the city, but I guess really to explore the whole island. So you can, you know, go around the island and make those short trips, as I was saying.
Enjoy.
Yeah, exactly.
And these days, Tasmania is popular because of winter, because people can go and do some ski and those winter activities, isn't it, Tasmania? Mariana?
Yeah. So well, okay, let's go from the beginning. So the weather here can be a bit colder compared to other places around Australia, of course, because we are in the very south part of the country. However, it's not that shocking. Okay, so if you compare, for example, to Melbourne, which is also a bit colder, probably we are like what, four degrees lower than what would be in Melbourne. So it's not that cold compared to Melbourne. However, yes, throughout the year, you will have probably a bit more cold weather than hot weather. But the UV here, it's quite strong. So during summer, especially when it's sunny, 20 degrees can really feel like 27 degrees, or 30 degrees can really feel like 40 degrees. It can be quite strong. So we have beautiful sunny days here. And I was actually mentioning to Cindy before we start the whole presentation that it can be cold, but when it's sunny, you really feel that good weather, and you feel that you want to go out and explore and, you know, do your outdoor activities. Here it does snow, but it doesn't snow on a level that you will have ski fields or snowboard or anything like that. But if you go to the top of Mount Wellington, which is the highest mountain here, you can absolutely see snow. And yeah, just do hiking, looking around and enjoying the snow. With the cold weather, especially now around June, July, we have a big festival that happens every year, which is called Dark Mofo. The Dark Mofo is an event, a festival that happens from the Mona, which is a huge museum here, a very famous museum here, really modern, really contemporary, and they organize the Dark Mofo and some other events. But the Dark Mofo receives a lot of tourists from all Australia and even internationally. And it is an event that happens pretty much for, I don't know, a couple of weeks. And it is really to celebrate the winter time. So you do find a lot of food trucks, you find a lot of different sort of expositions, music. So it is something that the whole city feels. And a lot of opportunities happens as well. So a lot of job opportunities happen throughout these sort of festivals for international students as well.
Good. I'm just sending a message to Patricia. She's raising her hand. And please, Patricia, let us know your question in the chat box and we can help you. Let's see what Patricia say.
Absolutely. And while we wait for Patricia to make her question or to see if any other questions are happening there, I'm not quite sure if I have a feeling that we have people from Chile here, for example, or some other places, not only here in Australia. So I just want to make sure that you guys are aware that, of course, unfortunately, the international borders, the Australian international borders are still closed, which means that if you are not in Australia, you probably won't be able to travel here to study with us on campus face-to-face for this semester. Hopefully things will get better for next year and you will be able to travel to Australia to study with us. However, if you are really interested and still keen to study with us in July, for example, you're more than welcome to start your application and start your course online with us from wherever you are. Most of our courses does have this option of online studies. Some courses, of course, they are really practical, such as Bachelor of Nursing, for example, which we won't be able to offer you online. However, all other courses should be okay. And then, yeah, you start your course online with us. And then once the borders reopen, you will be absolutely welcome to join us on campus to complete your qualification if you have your student visa valid. So it is probably the new normal. It is something that is happening with many international students. So feel free to start the course with us. And if you feel that, yeah, online studies is not your gig, is not what you like, you're welcome to apply for next year with us with the hope that, yeah, the international borders will reopen by then.
Mariana, it looks like we don't have more questions. So thank you so much for accepting the invitation. The information is really valuable for us and for the students. So for the students who are interested to know more about Tasmania, how to apply for a student visa, in the chat box, there is a link that you can go to and fill out, and we will be in contact with you guys. Thank you so much for your time and see you next time.
My pleasure, Cindy. See you guys. Thank you.
Bye.